What's up, everybody? bboyspaz. So today, I actually got a question a while ago where someone was asking me about something I had mentioned in an earlier video about how I have my mixer set up and mixing and whatnot in Reason. So I figured I have this track here. It's not even a full track. It's kind of like an idea that I just haven't finished yet. But I'll go through and kind of show you my process of what I do to mix some of the things and kind of show you what my layout is for the whole rack. Um, so one thing I tend to do, and I don't know why I started doing this, but it's made Reason sound better to me. Maybe I'm crazy, who knows? But what you'll notice is that, so at the top here, this is the direct line out, you could say, to Reason. So your mixer has to hook up to this first for you to get any sound out of it at all. Now, instead of me just hooking a mixer up to that, I actually hook one of these line mixers. And then from the line mixer, I hook the mixer into the line mixer. And I do it left and right. So you see, here's my left channel, panned over to the left. Here's my right channel, panned to the right. I found that gives Reason a little bit more power. Because I've heard other Reason like files that people have done, and they just sound like peep, 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 peep. And they're all like puny and weak. I don't know. So I've been doing that, and it really gives more thump to Reason to me. Another thing I found honestly is letting Reason overdrive. Now, one thing you'll learn about like mixing and anything digital or anything audio is never to let sounds overdrive because they clip and then they distort. So as you'll see, when I play this track, down here at the bottom, I'm all kinds of clipping, just all over the place. But I don't know, it sounds fine in Reason. I've had people comment on some of my Reason tracks and was like, oh, did you use an MPC? And I'm like, no, this is Reason alone. So it's worked for me. But you do have to control it. You can't just let everything overly distort. Then you have a problem. Now to go back to my layouts, got my reverb and delay here. So they're on the returns. I always like to put my return effects above my mixer. So you see, like, here's the main stuff, and then here are the effects for this mixer above it. Now, I have that pad sound you hear playing. So this guy here. This is actually this Combinator right here, and this track has nothing going on, so I'm gonna name that. So I'm gonna name that Sweet Pad. It's so sweet. And as you see, if I open up the Combinator, it is like 4 different sounds and delays and all kinds of craziness. I'm not going to go over what I did here, but it literally is just like 4 different sounds. I like to use the Combinator all the time to thicken up my sounds. So instead of just having like a normal lame little pad, I can take 5 pads and kind of tweak them and, put which one I like louder and pan them out some. And then that gives me my overall sound of the pad. And that's what you're seeing here going on with this line mixer. Putting it in the Combinator, you don't have to play each line separately. It's just one sound, which is nice. So that's there. And it looks like my Combinator is connecting to a compressor and a stereo imager. So I have it like imaged out a little bit so it sits on the end of the stereo image. And then I have a filter. So I can turn that up and down whenever I want to. So that's the pad alone. There's not much more mixing I can do here other than adding an EQ to it, which if I were going to do that, I'd put it after the compressor. So click on the compressor, create. Always use the M-class stuff. It's so much better than the old Reason equalizer. Low cut is normally a huge help for every sound, even your low bass sounds, because it's cutting off like 20 hertz and below. You can't hear that. So that's just leaving like extra rumble in your speakers for no reason. It gets muddy after a while. Keep in mind too that pads and things like to sit in the area of where the voice is. That's why I dipped it here. If I were gonna record voice over this, the voice sits in this area. I don't want it to take up all that space. Here, so I put some EQ on the pad there. Now let's do with these drums I have. So let's listen to them real quick. So there are my drums. I have them inside a Combinator. Got a full mixer, got an NXT. Now, if you've watched my videos, you know that I like to separate all my sounds from the NXT, run them into a mixer, and do it that way. I have not done that yet, so you get to see me actually do it. Bear with me, it might take a minute. So let's see what we got going on. So I know this is a kick drum. That, I'm guessing, is a kick drum as well. Let's check. Oops. Yo, pick my sound. There we go. Okay, so that's some kind of snap. Here's my kick drum. So I usually leave my kick drums on the 1. Guess I'll put that snap on 3/4. More kicks. There goes some snares or some claps. So we'll put those 5/6. Hi-hats. 7/8. That's another kick drum. I'll leave that at 1. Another hi-hat. But we'll go 9/10. Because what I did to make that pattern, I had 2 hi-hat sounds. And they're kind of going off of each other. I'll show you. It's really kind of cool. 9/10. Did I do 7/8 already? I did. 7/8. 9/10. 9/10. Here, clap. There's. Wow, how many kick drums do I have? So we'll put you on 11/12, and you're grouped, so we'll put you on 11/12 as well. And then there's more claps. Look at all that layering. Look at that. Layering is the best way to get your drums to sound like amazing. Okay. Did I miss something? Dang, there's so many sounds. There. So now I jump to the back and hook up all my stuff. So now I have all my drums in there routed out. And then this is where I would go through and start like panning stuff. Like kicks, I always move over just a tad. You gotta make space for your bass. Same thing with any snares. Those get moved over just a tad as well. Hi-hats. Put them together, you get it's nice. So you got to play around with your hi-hats. It shows what you can do with like using multiple sounds. It's really cool. There we are. Pan you over here, pan you over here. Need to come over some. Cool. And then after I would do that, I would take the time to put EQs on each of these drum sounds and then EQ them all. I'm not going to do that at the moment, but I wanted to give you an idea of the steps I kind of go through while I'm mixing in Reason. So that's really what it is. Like, go through, EQ everything, and put all your panning and mixing, and nothing really special. But just keep in mind this whole line mixer into the mixer. I don't know. It makes stuff sound better. You know, it sounds so much better. So, anyways, hit up all my pages, the Twitter, the YouTube. Get at me, subscribe, give me questions. I'm getting back on the videos, so you'll see a lot of stuff answered. Keep up with it. Peace.